Hi y'all, this is step 13 of the extreme drought tolerant garden, and just going to give you a quick rundown of how it's set up. So my water collection tank is down there, lowest point of the property, and I've got a water pump over there with underground plumbing all the way to the top of the garden area, 600-gallon tank up there. And that's what I'm using to get water into these rows. So I planted onions and potatoes, red potatoes, about 3 weeks ago, about 2 weeks after the freeze. You know, the 16 or the temperature had dropped down into the teens. So what I have in there is sugar beets, onions, and potatoes. And I've got sweet potatoes coming in a week or two that I'm going to plant in the empty rows. But let's go in there and show you what the status is in there. So as you should know, this is one of the worst drought years in a very long time. And that's why this is extreme drought tolerant garden, because we are in a drought right now. In Texas, the lakes are going dry. You know, the Corpus Christi Lake is going dry. That's where they process the, the oil, the crude oil, Corpus Christi, Houston area. And the lakes in the north are going dry. So we're in hard times right now. And so that's the whole purpose of this. So I've got the sugar beets in here, and the key point with the sugar beets is that they could go year round. You get about 10 to 11 months out of a sugar beet plant before, almost a full year. And, I ran an experiment a year or two ago, and the sugar beet I planted in October, and they were good all the way up to August or September. It's in my videos. But let me show you what I got going on here, okay? I've got the sugar beets in this row. Got red potatoes in here, and you can see that they sprouted. If you look, they sprouted. 2 rows of potatoes. I'm not gonna put as much water in here this time. Maybe I'm putting too much water in there. And then of course I got a row and a half of onions here, and another row and a half of onions up at the very top. And these 4 rows or 3.5 rows, they're empty. So show you. That's where I'm going to put the sweet potatoes, right there in these rows right here. The ones that don't have any water on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 rows. I got 100 potatoes coming in. And I just filled up the tank right here. You always want to try to have a full tank, because something could happen. No fuel, or just anything could happen to where if you're not topped off, it could be a problem. So that's what it looks like. The onions, I got a whole bunch of different varieties in here. They're looking pretty good. They look a little different in full sun compared to the shade, like what I have growing in my backyard garden. But anyways, I got a row and a half up here, and none of the peanuts sprouted. I had 1 row of peanuts and nothing sprouted. So I'm just gonna put sugar beets in these 3.5 rows. Watered in the middle of the two onions this time around. Maybe see if we'll get different results. And so here are the red Pontiac potatoes, or red Northern, or whatever you want to call them. They sprouted. I'm kind of impressed. I'm surprised they sprouted. But that's what it looks like. And I've got some plumbing right here for another tank. I was thinking of having another 600-gallon tank down here for this area right here. You know, the plumbing, the infrastructure's set up. And I've got another spout right here to have another tank over here on this side to try to have this whole area covered. But I tried expanding too fast, and when you expand too fast, well, you lose everything. So right now I've got these tanks right here that I'm filling up with the garden hose from that main tank. So that's the status of the garden down here. Best bet is to just store food. If you look at it, growing food's pretty hard. It's unpredictable. You might have good years and bad years. You know, where they grow crops commercially, they're getting all the water from underground. So water is not a problem. And but out here in the garden area, it's all, you know, maybe you'll have a good year and then you have a bad year. So best thing is just stack food, and hopefully you get some out of the video here of what it actually takes to grow food. You know. See y'all later.